I'm pretty sure it's been more than a year since I made a video about this. And honestly, I don't think this is something that's going to happen anytime soon. But I do feel that Batman Arkham Knight deserved a direct sequel. And I don't want to really hear about Gotham Knights or anything like that because that game was underwhelming, and the Kill the Justice League, Suicide Squad game was one that a lot of people um, really didn't like. It fell below their expectations. Um, and that might be a troubling sign for DC related video games in general, because I feel like this trend started after Batman Arkham Knight, because that was like the last like really good DC game that got any type of mainstream attention whatsoever. I believe Arkham Knight sold like around 5 million worldwide on multiple consoles, like during the PS4, Xbox One era. And it's a game that was like an improved version of Batman Arkham City. Everybody loved the gameplay. The story was cool. Um, some people thought Scarecrow was pretty meh as a villain. The graphics was awesome. Um, Honestly, it was probably one of the last really good DC games before, I guess, Marvel video games got really popular. In fact, I think this game came out like 3 years before the Spider-Man game came out on the PlayStation 4. This game couldn't touch, the Spider-Man PS4 game in terms of sales. I don't think any of the Batman games sold as much as the Spider-Man game did in sales during the PS4 era. And a lot of people feel like Marvel has the edge in terms of popularity, and appealing to like a mainstream audience for the most part. And I think it's mainly because it seems like DC is trying to shift the focus away from Batman and put it on the Suicide Squad, which a lot of people feel like they've been forced down our throats for years, ever since 2016 when the movie came out. And even though that movie is overhated, um it wasn't really a great movie either. And and the only one who really came out looking good from the movie in terms of like the main protagonist was Harley Quinn for the most part. And it seemed like Harley Quinn was popular for a couple of years, to a point where she had her own show back in 2019. But it seems like DC is just cramming her into everything now, and it's something that a lot of people are kind of getting sick of. Not to take anything away from Harley, she's a cool character, but I don't know. I feel like ever since DC started pivoting away from making Batman, the main star of DC, and trying to make him the main attraction, it seems like like DC related games have taken a turn for the worse, and the quality of the games haven't been as good as some of the older Batman games. And it seems like Spider-Man right now is what Batman was like 15 years ago, or yeah, like 15 years ago in terms of popularity in relation to action adventure superhero games. So even if Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment and Rocksteady Studios did decide to make a direct sequel to Batman Arkham Knight, I'm not exactly sure whether or not it would sell as much as this game, or if it would sell as much as Batman Arkham City or even Arkham Asylum, because it seemed like Batman's time has come and passed. And one of the reasons why Batman was so popular during the late 2000s, early teens, was because of the Dark Knight movies. A lot of people love Dark Knight from a lot of people love the Dark Knight movie from 2008, and it's one of my personal favorites. I still have the DVD, and I still watch it every now and then to this day. And I'm just gonna go on record and say that was probably the best superhero movie of the 2000s decade period. That's just me. Um, the other Dark Knight movie from 2012 was cool too. It just seemed like Batman is just not as popular as he once was, and I'm not sure whether or not us not getting a Batman game where he's the main character. I'm not sure if that's due to the fact where the creators don't have ideas for him, or maybe Spider-Man has just surpassed him in popularity for whatever reason. I have no idea, but it doesn't seem like Spider-Man's momentum and popularity is going to wane anytime soon. And obviously, I believe that Arkham Knight is sequel worthy. I just don't know whether or not it's going to happen anytime in the future, and I'm not exactly sure what type of reception it would get or how people will react to that. But yeah, this game has been sequel worthy for years, and it seems like nothing has really been done with this game, other than it being like remastered or whatever. But we never really got a sequel for this, and it's a damn shame that it hasn't happened just yet. Maybe in a few years or so, we'll probably get a sequel for this game, but I'm not holding my breath on that. I mean, hell, I'm still waiting for an Injustice 3. I mean, there's been no word on that at all whatsoever. You know what I mean? Because like Injustice 3, I feel like if it's marketed correctly and you have the right roster, it could break at least a mill in terms of sales. But I'm not exactly sure if anything we get nowadays, DC related, is going to match anything we get, in relation to Spider Man. Look at Marvel Spider Man 2, which came out a couple of months ago. I think it's done like 5 mil already, so it goes to show you how popular Marvel is. Even though Marvel's owned by Disney and whatever, Marvel still seems to connect with casuals, and it seems like Spider-Man is like the main like superhero right now that people are talking about, and I'm not exactly sure how long that trend's going to last. Maybe in due time, like things will shift over towards DC, and Batman gets a new game, and more people are talking about Batman. But it's easier for Spider-Man to appeal to casuals, because DC basically appeals more to audience, and for the most part, Disney and Marvel appeals to children, it appeals to a general audience, and overall. So because of that, I feel like Spider-Man his popularity has increased, and his video games have been doing great in sales within the past couple of years. And that doesn't look like it's a trend that's going to decline anytime in the near future.